Hey, this is Tracy Lewis with Stuff and Things. Today is Winter is Coming Wednesday, day 6. I am now beginning a series of 3 days worth of swaps that needed some work. This one is a swap that is of a completely different style of card than I would normally make. And I didn't even have the materials on hand that I wanted to be able to revamp it. But then I remembered that in the gingerbread and peppermint paper that I got from Libby, I had used her die cuts and had cut out a bunch of candy elements and gingerbread elements. So I dug that out and it is going to be perfect. So I'm going to show you, you're already seeing the card as it originally was given to me. I do not have the contact information or the name of the creator. I'm going to show you what I've done to the background layer. One of the things that I needed to deal with, and I will now bring out, oops, I have to move this. This was moved out of place. I needed to deal with the fact that this candy cane background is a full background stamp, and over on this side it got blurry, and this side it is very clear. And from the picture you'll know that the Noel, which I really wanted to use, it is not a holiday sentiment that I would normally use, so I thought it would be fun to make sure that I keep this intact. The little berries are actually the velvet berries, and I have some of the red velvet. So I will look and see if it is current. I don't think it is, but I did want to go ahead and tie that in since I still have some pieces of it. And I haven't looked at the supplies list yet. So basically the Noel was in the center like this. I've already added this green layer. You know me, I don't like heavy mats. I prefer thin mats. And that actually was perfect for me to be able to use the green foil and do my strip technique to add the foil green mat. So now I'm going to take off the Noel and I am going to show you how I built up the elements. So I started out playing with these gingerbread cookie elements that look like a gingerbread cookie with icing, and I did brush the edges with soft suede. So I thought, okay, that's coming along. Here's the Noel. I personally would not center a sentiment like this card is done. There are a couple of cards that I did show earlier this fall that did have like a centered focal, and those actually worked really well. But for me, the Noel here is just, there's too much busy activity around the white to look very balanced to me. So adding the gingerbread elements was helpful. That started to get it looking the way I would envision it, as well as was covering up some of the double stamping in this upper left corner or bottom right corner, just depending on which way it ends up going. But the way I want to go diagonally will take care of the doubled candy canes, whether it's the top or the bottom. Okay, so that was okay, but that really wasn't enough. So then next, because I mentioned that this velvet, that little berries that were cut, that made me think of my velvet, I also had cut out with these gingerbread pieces. There is a border, like an icing border. So I brought out the velvet, I trimmed it down. I believe this is 2 inches, and I laid it down, and then I did this. It was a little bit too short to fit all the way across, so you'll see I snipped it in the middle and separated it, and then I also cut off the longer ball ends right in this area, because I have the notion to put the Noel here offset. And now I'm starting to like it. So this layer I like really well. It helps to cover up the candy cane misstamping. And then I'm going to go ahead and add gingerbread pieces. So I hope you're liking where I'm going with this. You know, I really wanted to keep in the spirit of the candy. So I'm liking, I could even just leave that off. These two elements are popped up and the Noel is popped up. So when they're all down, the velvet's a little bit thick, but when I tack everything down, they will all be at the same height or thereabouts. Then the last element I wanted to play with are all the candies. So I have all these candies. 4 of the 5 are popped up, and so I was playing around with them, and I believe that I will have them sort of lurking about. It'll probably take me a little bit of time to decide what the perfect layout is of these, and I may decide that one of these candies, see this one's not popped up, I might have to have one, I don't want this one to be popped up, so if I do have that one placed there in the end, I will likely want to remove the dimensional. So this is somewhat what I'm thinking. That will complete this card. I will finish putting it all together, do some final photography. I am not sure if I should add some bling. I don't think I will go for any trim, but I do think bling would be good, so I will ponder the bling. I may come back before the ending and insert the addition of the bling. But for now, I'm going to leave it at this. So you may or may not see a little segment of the embellishment section. But I really like this card. Somebody who I know has a good sweet tooth will be receiving this card. Let me know what you think. Leave your questions, comments, and suggestions on this video or over on my blog. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and return tomorrow for day 7. And thanks for watching.